downstream country to make sure that the flow of the water should not be interrupted and should be better managed. Much of it has been reflected in the IWT clauses already. Thirdly, allow me to emphasize that I counted on my fingers, actually, there are about altogether 18 countries which depend on the water flown from rivers originating from the what we call Qinghai Tibet Plateau. This is very significant. I understand up to today there is no regional or international framework which would focus on this commonality of the water originating from the Qinghai Tibetan Plateau. And the Indus River water is important in itself, but on a more general and macro framework, it's part of this commonality of the water originating from the Qinghai Tibetan Plateau. So while the urgency is to deal with the violations of the IWT Treaty itself, I think we should also spare time to think about whether all these countries together should think about and work together to come up with a framework so that common standards, common rules, regulations, and the best code of conduct should be introduced, not only between India and Pakistan, but also with many other countries. The 18 countries also not only exist here in the Indian subcontinent, which is the focus of our discussion today, but also exists in Southeast Asia as well as in Central Asia. I hope if we have a better code of conduct for all these 18 countries, and the rules of conduct should be endorsed and accepted by the United Nations, for example, and generally accepted by the international community. In that sense, I hope in the future, after this violation of the IWT will eventually be resolved, hopefully peacefully rather than violently, all the countries in this part of the world which depend on the water originating from the Qinghai Tibetan Plateau should live in greater peace. Now, please also allow me to make another additional point. I highly admire the good offices, the mediation done by the Pakistani government and the Pakistani people, led by Your Great Excellency, the Prime Minister, and the great Field Marshal, the Chief of Staff of the Pakistani Army. I hope they will continue to work in the right direction to make sure peace will prevail eventually between the United States and Iran. Now, someone talked about the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Allow me to emphasize, as the President of Germany emphasized before, the Strait of Hormuz was open for navigation before the war against Iran started. So we need to address the issue which gave rise to the war against Iran, and we should work together to make sure that the Strait of Hormuz eventually will remain open for free navigation, and no country, for example, India, should be tolerated or allowed to deny the free flow of water in the Indus River to the hundreds of millions of people in Pakistan. Finally, I want to place a bet. If the Prime Minister of Pakistan and the Field Marshal of Pakistan continue to work in the right direction, I hope they will earn or share a Nobel Peace Prize. That's my best wish. To make the real final point, no one in this part of the world should second-guess China's commitment to defend the fundamental interest of Pakistan, especially including Pakistan's sovereignty and territorial integrity. And in the context of our meeting today, Pakistani people's right to the free flow of water in the Indus River. I thank you very much.